he has for some time been on the other side of the divide. We've sparred continually, but I know that they love this state. I know he believes in what this state represents. I want to welcome specifically my brother, Iban Isnin. Iban, a few weeks ago, before His Excellency came in, I had an opportunity to talk with you, and you told me that going forward, you are going to support His Excellency. You're not going to engage in those moments that we started in the past. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome you. And I know that I can always count on you to support His Excellency. I know that we can always count on you to continually support the Arise agenda. I know we can always count on you to do what is best for the interest of this state. We don't have any other state except Akwa Ibom State, and we must be vested in the ascendancy of its purpose. His Excellency the Governor Umwana has done well across the Arise agenda focal points, and I know that the engagement we're going to have today will yield some wonderful interaction. So at this point in time, I want to yield the microphone back to the MC and thank you for coming. God bless all of you in Jesus' name.
Thank you so much, the CPS. If I borrow some of his diction, he would say swift, obeyed, polished, in fact, debonair. Please come and put our hands together and celebrate the Honorable the referencing for the total setting, current to be the Honorable Commissioner for Information.
Your Excellency Governor, Mr. Speaker, Past Chairman, Secretary Government, Mr. General of Government Business, Chairman of the ABJ, my dear colleagues, members of the Secretary Council, and members of the leadership of the House Assembly who have come. We are gathered this evening like we gathered with His Excellency in September. September we gathered to celebrate the state anniversary, and he graciously agreed that we should also discuss with you. At that time, he hadn't spent much time as governor, but he thought it was necessary to share his thoughts with you. Today, we are gathered again, this time, not just to share thoughts, but also to get your thoughts, to receive questions from you, because from time immemorial, communication has been critical to the existence of humanity. Critical to the extent that even God himself, conscious of that, started in Genesis 1, let us create man in our image. And some theologians have continued to ask who were the other people who were there, and why was it necessary for him to invite, conscious of the telepathic communication that exists between spirits. So the question for theologians was God's people to beings or was this to himself and record. But again, that is very fundamental. But today, the pastor, as governor, is sitting just like his master Jesus and saying to you, we came with the document. The document that was first his thoughts about the governance, adopted by his party as the campaign manifesto, and agreed to by a cross-section of our government people as the economic state. 1 year into that journey of the first 4 years and the next dollar, he's asking just like spectators are lying along the roads or the routes of the marathon, that it's time for us to look at how the runners are running. And he's invited us here, conscious that we are not just ordinary people, we are the people who shape the people. We are the people through which information goes out. And it's critical to know how much of this information we know. And it's also critical to hear back from you what they are saying. That's why we are gathered this evening. Second time His Excellency will be meeting with you, but first time that it will be in the sense of a media briefing. That he will be taking questions from you. At first he laid his plans out during the September event. But this evening something changed and someone asked me, it was Morgan who drew my attention, it says change from Pali to briefing. I said yes, because Pali is a negotiation of opposite sides trying to reach a consensus. That the time was it when the press was on the other side and government was on this side, and we did it in Pali. That the era of Pali has been buried and we now have an era of briefing. Tonight, His Excellency will be having a briefing because we are all on the same page on on the same page for a united, purposeful, robust Akwa Ibom State. That's the page we are on, and you'll be doing the briefing. Dear friends, I present to you your governor, the one who was massively voted to, because you painted him in ways that people would accept him. I present to you a gentleman who's been in the saddle for all of 12 months, save one day. And in those days, he's been himself. He has been unpretentious. Talking about leadership, he's brought himself, the whole of himself, to leadership. And that's where the definition of authentic leadership comes from. He doesn't pretend. He comes unpretentiously about what he likes and what he doesn't like. And he turns to his case to say, well, I have said my own. And more you know, you can say your own. You are who you are. And so I present to you your governor. I present to you your pastor. The Excellency of the whole.
Your Excellency, the Governor, for one time, I would have wished that His Excellency just rose to take his audience on the heels of the Commissioner for Information's introductions. But Your Excellency, let me repeat his words as an introduction to bring you up. Ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to say my colleagues, but they will charge me. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a governor who is not pretentious about anything. Arguably the most authentic leader you will find anywhere in Nigeria. Put your hands together. His Excellency, Pastor Omegoyo, your governor, my governor, our governor, who is our making dreams. Let's keep celebrating here,
Thank you so much. Please let's take our seats. Thank you. The Honorable Speaker, Akwa Ibom State of Assembly, His Excellency Ambassador Sam Sam, the Chairman of the PDP, Honorable members of the Akwa Ibom State Assembly that have joined us, the Secretary to Government, Honorable Commissioners that are here to give your scorecard. Today I will behave like one of our leaders. When they ask me one question, we just call, say, you answer. So get ready with your pen and paper so you can answer for yourselves. Governor Secretary, State of Extra, Ministerial Department, Chairman of the NUJ, Akwa Ibom State Chapter, members of the State Working Committee of the NUJ, past chairmen and secretaries of the NUJ, and see some very senior NUJ members here. One time the District Governor is here, and my brother Dime is here, heads of stations, media aides to the governor, media stakeholders, guild of editors, our sister. Thank you for flying in. We met in the UK a few days ago and you promised you were going to Trinidad. Thank you for coming. Specially invited guests, members of different chapels, the press, of course, the entire press. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if really this is a briefing, but whatever name you call it, I feel for me it's still a media chat that we're going to sit and talk. I don't really have, because if I have to do the full briefing, then tomorrow, people will look forward to tomorrow. I will just be repeating myself, because tomorrow at the stadium, by God's grace, the brain I'll be talking about some of the very modest achievements we have recorded in the last 1 year with the support of everyone, Akwa Ibomites and non-Akwa Ibomites. The Ministry of Information have attempted to put together a scorecard, and I'm going to present a copy to the chairman of the AUJ officially, and I'm told that you've all been given because we live in these days of cost reduction and e-governance. We've given you the card you can scan for all of the things that we'll be talking about. You can go visit yourself and confirm. And of course, if you know the Commissioner for Information very well, he's one of you. He doesn't pretend, so he will not be cowed into putting anything here. We have a thorough review with our Executive Council we had 4 sessions. Was one went to ensure that we had a proper review. And so we're not giving anything that we have to fabricate. So I know some people have scanned through it to be an opportunity to answer to questions, or let's just chat, let's move forward to what the areas we want to raise for us to discuss. Let's look at the future, the next 1 year. But we're trying in the last 1 year to stay within the adversary. We have, like I said, it's just 1 year. And we are not the ones who say we have done well. But I can say without any shadow of doubt that I have served Akwa Ibom the last 1 year with the integrity of my heart. I cannot claim to be perfect. We made mistakes. And we try to correct ourselves. The team that God has raised for us have done their best. They are servants, and so we present ourselves this evening to interact with the press. We can trust that we'll continue to work together. You'll continue, even when you criticize us, which is allowed to be constructive, to be something that will help us do better, because what we want for our state is actually to serve our people. So when we draw attention to some of the things we may not have done, and that we do so in a manner that shows that we want all of us working together, then we look at it and we'll be looking at it. A few people have sent me text and tell me this is happening here, this should be done, this is not good enough. We take a look at it. Is there something that's already in our plan, or something that we might have overlooked and it's allowed? Because it's only God that sees and knows all where you don't need. Some people feel that in 1 year we should have done much more, we should have healed all the sick people, made everybody. But even when Jesus visited Bethesda, there were other sick people there. He was walking there and healed one person and walked away. So even Jesus, while he was on earth, I'm sure I'm not blaspheming, did not attend to everyone and did not attend to all the problems. So some we bring to attention, some is deliberate, but we'll try the best we can to stay within our agenda and the promise and the covenant we have with our Bible people. What I believe we should look at tonight, more than anything else, are we sincere with the people? Are we serving the people, or we're serving ourselves? For me, I can answer truthfully. To invest in my ability under God, I have served Akwa Ibom with all of my heart. On that note, I'll please like to present this. Let's open up chats, and then as we go on, we'll talk about the things you want to raise. Thank you so much, and have a good evening, and welcome.
I'm very proud of my goal.
Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. All right, so the chats floor has been open. Thank you.
Excellency Governor, I am Samuel Joshua. I represent Classic to TV. Excellency, Mr. Governor, we are proud. The Excellency, my concern is with the AKBC, TV and radio. The only broadcast station owned by Akwa States and the states. Excellency, the AKBC are doing a program, a commercial program, about a time from the AKBC and send to the world. The Excellency, for some time now, we are unable to market our products and services because the only electronic or broadcast station in Nigeria that depends on public power for sustenance is the AKBC. It is a self-commentary, Excellency, that we could not, after buying the airtime, be able to generate even the cost of our production in commercial terms. Excellency, the transmitter of the AKBC TV that has a 10 kilowatt transmitter is now producing at below 500 watts. That is the truth. Excellency, most of these people in Akwa State depend on AKBC because of the terrestrial production, which is not owned by every other broadcast stations by way of television. That's class that covers the entire state. We know this by the figures that we have from the callers that we have on the live television. Excellency, they are unable to connect with us. That means at this point, the background cannot be recovered. It has not fallen apart with Excellency. AKBC needs an urgent attention. Otherwise, it will be an issue of shame. Thank you.
Thank you. The last question goes to the other line. Yes, same about the person I've said that. Please, for to make the first three, we go to the other line after now.
Good evening, all. Good evening, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, we are proud of what you have done in the provision of shelter. And my question has to do with that. Some years back, the state government took over some land of citizens for development purposes. And I remember that some civil servants were affected in the relocation exercise. And up till now, some people have died, citizens whose lands were relocated or reallocated. And there are people who are retired and others too, who may retire soon, who have not been reallocated those lands that were taken over by the state government for other purposes. So I know that a former commissioner for lands, architect Melo Melo, has signed a letter saying that those lands will be reallocated to the affected people and that they will be given a certificate of occupancy as well as survey plan at no cost. Your Excellency, 22 years have passed since that issue came up, and up to now nothing has been done. I want to use this opportunity to plead that you should please look into that problem so that those who were affected will be attended to. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My name is Blessing Ofotura of the Ministry of Information, Director of Information.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. My name is Dennis Agent Friday, and I write for the Plenary newspaper. Your Excellency, we have seen that some of the projects commission to mark your first day in office are inherited projects, and you have made some assertions to affirm that. Your Excellency, I want to say that you have done so well by bridging the gap in terms of either completing the uncompleted project or reducing the number to the minimum. I want to ask Your Excellency, what is the effect of the Rio economic tactic, equally, and not the other project, on the one hand, and on the other, what is also the effect of the China international market in the technical government? Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. Mr. Bassett, please, you can start that way. Let's take 2 more to complete this round. And please, go to the freaking field. After I will just take 1 more and we'll end it for this.
Your Excellency, gentlemen of the press, my name is Ndubeke Chigenefield, and I write for the Mail newspaper. Your Excellency, the free and compulsory education policy is running in Akwa Ibom State. And recently, you embarked on the building of model schools across the state. In spite of this, it appears that little attention is paid to special schools across the state, especially the one at Biabong Etoe here in Rio. Are these schools not also covered in the free and compulsory policy of this government? Please, I have a second question. Your Excellency, the government has procured gunboats for security personnel to fight crime in the state, and also purchased Hilux trucks for the fight of internal insecurity. Despite these efforts, militancy and kidnapping have not stopped in many areas of the state. I'd like to know, what additional measure is your government taking to effectively address the persistent insecurity on our waterways? And also, what plans, Your Excellency, are you putting in place to restore hope to the fishermen whose source of livelihood has been crippled by these militancy activities? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Bassett, please, we'll take the last one where you are. The last for this section, please. There will be another round. Thank you.
Your Excellency, greetings from the local government staff. My name is Rose Netulo. I'm working in the local government council. Sir, we thank you for keeping to your words and your promises to the local government workers. My question this evening is, in 2019, about 723 local government workers were sacked by the Akwa Ibom State government. And in 2020, 403 were reinstated, remaining 320. Your Excellency, sir, please. Thank you very much. Can you please come to the aid of the remaining 220 local government staff that were sacked? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll take a pause here as we allow His Excellency the Governor to address the issues that stress the government.
Leak into some of the things you'll be saying, but since he's given me permission. First, it is true that AKBC has been facing some challenges which is accumulated. It's not instantaneous. It's been accumulated over the period. But last year, under the last administration,
resources were provided for equipment purchase, which is why you had the new cameras you saw there. Again, the transmitter, that the last administration provided resources for transmitter. Transmitter was purchased. The management of AKBC purchased the transmitter. Yes, there are challenges with that transmitter, again, because you do know that terrestrial broadcasting is being faced off globally. But because we are still looking at ensuring that our people who will not have access to digital broadcast should still have access to information. So the technology that requires terrestrial broadcast and the transmitter, most of those have been phased out. But the transmitter that AKBC has still has the capacity for terrestrial broadcast, which is what you saw there. But that transmitter had a problem. The problem with that transmitter was the cooling system of that transmitter. And the acting general manager, the acting director general, Your Excellency, who without, she's just acting by, not by promotion, she's acting by filling space. She's actually the director of programs. But because there is no DG, Your Excellency, and with your word that you had said so, she stepped into the shoe and has been doing a beautiful work there. Those coolers were sent to Germany, to the factory in Germany, and they returned. 6 of them have returned, 4 are still being returned. And she's doing that through the IGR, the little IGR, and the support that you have been giving. Because under this administration, every single time AKBC has had to cover events like they are doing, His Excellency insists that we must pay them the same way we pay others. That is the resources she has been using to do that. It is true that the kilowatts had reduced, but it is not true that currently that is the kilowatts they are running. That was when only 2 fans were there. She brought the gentleman who is in charge of making those repairs. Those coolers were sent to Germany, 6 of which have returned, and the broadcasting capacity of AKBC has increased drastically. But is that where we are going to? The answer is no. His Excellency desires that we put AKBC on DSTV. And so what is he asking? He has directed the Ministry of Information to immediately come up with a drawing for the ultra-modern, state-of-the-art corporate headquarters and studios for AKBC. He had said so. And the drawings are ready and are being vetted by the implementation unit of His Excellency's office. Because what His Excellency wants is that a ministry that originates a project must not also be the ministry that will vet the project. So that the drawings are being vetted as we speak. His Excellency has also directed that personnel audits be undertaken, which is why we had to put a stop to the issue of employment of casual staff, the casualization issue in AKBC. We had put a stop to that, and we are going to try to make sure that we can pay the backlog that is left. His Excellency also directed that we bring a world-class consultant that would midwife the process of AKBC leaving where it is to where it needs to get to. And His Excellency wants that station to be competitive in every sense of the word. And in the second year, His Excellency has said that AKBC, the building and the restructuring, the complete overhaul of that facility is one of the priority projects. Let me leave it at that. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Commissioner for Works, be ready.
Thank you, Excellency. Respectfully, Excellency, we came into office in the Ministry of Lands with lots of challenges as to repositioning the ministry and managing the resources and assets of government. With the support of the governor, we've taken several proactive steps, and one of the hanging issues involved is just what my sister raised: accumulated relocation, occasioned by the dynamics of urbanization that has led to a backlog of people to be reallocated. I want to let this audience be aware and the state at large that just 2 weeks ago, I've had a marching order from His Excellency to take proactive steps to create a brand new housing scheme that will be the hallmark of this particular administration. I have set to work with my colleague in the Ministry of Housing. We've had our first meetings, and we were able to locate certain locations that I will later present to the ESCO with so many things in hand. Number one, to create a flag housing estate for the Umoino administration. Number two, to take cognizance of this backlog of deprived allocations to see much we can gather to solve. Unfortunately, God is creating more people, He's not creating more land. So we will not promise 100% reception. We want to know that please, if you allocated land, there's always a clause for a period that you have to develop. Otherwise, it will be taken away from you. His Excellency's policy in this administration is geared towards the rural development, housing, and equalization of opportunities for everyone. We are here to deliver on that mandate, and I promise you that as soon as we make presentation, I'll receive the anticipated approval and get to work. Thank you so much.
Asking you a question. You know, this is an interactive session.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a list of those whose time were taken?
We have the list of people whose lands were taken from shelter Africa. We have the list of people whose lands were taken from some places in Osama. And that is, I'm sure that is what my sister is talking about. That is the hanging question, and we'll solve it as the time gives us the.
Can we get the list to me in the next 1 week?
Yes, sir.
So we don't know the land we are looking for.
Yes, 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 I can wait.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Your Excellency, members of the press, we are talking of the Tokyo Road. Your Excellency, when you came in, we took full appraisal of all the road projects ongoing and the status of the roads.
Commissioner for Investment, China Market, please get ready.
Audio Road, Your Excellency, as at the time you assumed, was 21%. And the contractor for that road, we had about 4 of those roads that were very slow in execution, including the Musrata Road, Audio Road. The situation that we have now is that contract could not move because they had about 4 projects in their hands. And the pace of work on that road, the Excellency will ask that we reevaluate that. As of now, those contractors, from what the monies that we paid, they couldn't move further from the states of the job. One, the job was awarded in 2019, and the costing of that job, as of today,
Commissioner for what?
Yes,
I have directed that the road contract be terminated. The road is not, I've terminated 4 already and re-awarded. The airports, Oron, re-awarded. This one, I've said it, just call the contractor, revalue the road, let us know who is owing who, and we're prepared to discharge our obligation. We are the ones owing them. If they are the ones owing us, they pay us our money, we deduct it from some of the money we are owing them, but they cannot continue that road. I have told you that. So simply hit the nail on the head. Don't paint it. We have terminated that road. Just give us a few weeks. Let's see this evaluation. We'll put a new contractor to continue what you bringing me here, I think what the Commissioner for Information should have done would have been to ask that the commissioners come and give their scorecards. They should have just brought them and put them here before you, so you can ask them questions. Because we discovered that most of the things that we're talking about, you'll be raising, are things that we have already discussed. So I just want to see how up to speed all of us are. So please, Commissioner for the Panel, Commissioner for Internal Security, thank you. I mean, you don't like it like that.
Unfortunately, the fluctuations in the foreign exchange over time have affected the original estimates. However, we have sent a few consultants to take another look to see what needs to be done, and I've also sent a memo to cover that to His Excellency. So, within the next couple of months, when I hear from His Excellency, we will take the next steps. We have written and we have asked our lawyers to write, and let's exit properly. Until we exit that initial agreement, we can't do anything, because I don't want to plunge the state into unnecessary litigation. So please, when we come to speak, let us tell. Good afternoon.
So the people that valued that thing initially, either they didn't understand or I don't know. I take it that they didn't understand. Because I believe that before we go into any project, we should properly analyze it before we advise His Excellency to sign off. And that's why a few people believe that my style is a little bit different. I'll check, I'll let someone else check, I'll let another person check, and then I'll ask for your cash flow. And we begin to look. So it's, you know, yeah, I said something on Sunday in church, how a governor who signed my CFO revoked the CFO within 3 months. And when I confronted him, he didn't even know he revoked the CFO. But he did. The office of a governor is so busy that you need the right people around you to draw your attention to certain things. Otherwise, you could make some very grievous mistakes. So that's just the truth, you know. So please, we will get back to it as soon as we are able to exit. If after some time their lawyers have told us that the contract has expiry and all of that, even with the present inflation, our 30% with some little addition can get that market up and running. That's the truth. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Commissioner for Education, Special Schools.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency and the House. The Akwa Ibom State Government runs a free and compulsory education at the basic level. This includes the primary schools and all public secondary schools. Special education centers are under this program. And I want to say here that they are all free. No child is expected to pay any fee.
The question is, what are we doing about special schools the way we are renovating other schools? Are you doing anything? You have not brought anyone to my attention yet.
No, we have just one special education center in Uyo, and they are going to enjoy the same amenities as other schools. Right now, maybe let me wait for His Excellency to come. I'll wait for him to come back. Okay. Continue. As I said earlier, education is free, completely free in Akwa Ibom State. Right now, this government came in with the Arise agenda, where education is strategically placed, educational advancement. And this is going to happen in all the schools. None is an exception. And we've started. Right now, you know that last week, 2 model schools were commissioned with world-class, state-of-the-art facilities. This is going to be replicated in all schools. It might not be, even if they are not complete model schools, we know that we have some schools that need renovations and some complete takedown of the infrastructure that the children are under right now. So we had an EXCO retreat. We even had an EXCO review some weeks ago one of the presentations of the Ministry of Education is for some schools to be renovated, some buildings. So the question she asked, is it going to happen? We are going to have many model schools, at least one per local government area. Right now, 18 of them are being constructed. So whatever is happening in one school, I'm sure that is going to be replicated in the other schools. And for Special Education Center, there is so much noise. Are you hearing me? I wanted to announce this. For Special Education Center, there is an incentive, a subvention paid every month. It's paid as a first-line charge. Every month, this subvention is paid to that school. Additional subvention. You know that every year, every term, subvention is paid to all schools, all public schools. But Special Education Center enjoys special subvention paid as a first-line charge every month. You don't even need to write a memo. This government pays Special Education Center that special subvention. So whatever is done in other schools, starting with the model schools, will be replicated in all the schools, Your Excellency.
Thank you so much. I think what we should do, and I promise this, give us another month, I'll visit the school myself, and if we have to bring it down to build a new one, we'll do that. We give them subvention, like she has said, but forgive me, I've not been there. But in the next 1 month, within the next 1 month, I'll personally visit the school. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Your Excellency. Good evening, House. I'd like to give a bit of a background to help us understand more. Akwa Ibom is a littoral state with the longest coastline in Nigeria at 129 kilometers. It also has major rivers that are bounding other states, whether it is the Cross River or the Imo River. Beyond that, Akwa Ibom is in the middle of some very troubled states. Abia, you know about the IPOB ESN issues. Yes, sir. We have these neighbors where we have challenges from across, and they sometimes transition into Akwa Ibom. Now, His Excellency has given us a lot of assets, both in the maritime domain and on land. And what I would say is that we are working. A lot is happening. There's a lot I cannot say in terms of practical terms, because some of them are on active investigations, and so I may not be able to mention that. But all I would want to say to Akwa Ibomites today, that His Excellency has given us a lot of assets in the maritime domain and on land, and there's a lot of changes that are going on. And I can assure the House that we will continue to work, and Akwa Ibom will remain the safest state in Nigeria. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Let me assure us, seriously speaking, we are taking on the fight headlong. We will not be able to tell you, but I can tell you that for every kidnapping that has happened in this state, we have traced and arrested and confronted the people. And we'll continue to do that. Again, let me say this. The security people need information, adequate intelligence, and every community have a way. We're working out something very soon. We'll come out with a clear-cut way of maybe we'll have a line that will make all of us be able to reach a command and control center with information that will help us. So you see strange people in your community, you're not saying anything. And I want to say this here without any fear of contradiction. Some communities are harboring these people. I can tell you that as a governor now, I'm not joking about it. Some communities see this as a business, the people live with them. And we are moving closer. Very soon there will be some arrests that will be made. It will shock some people. Because you cannot tell me that people just come into your community, they settle in your community, you don't know what they are doing, they are just there, and they build their gates high up, they are all over the place. They move from wherever they came and we give them land, we all go there, we drink there, like the Honorable Commissioner said, there are some leads we are following, and you know that it's still pointing to the same people. So, what I'd like to tell Akwa Ibomite, and very sincerely, is that report to us suspicious people in your communities. Let us query them. Let's ask their source of livelihood. Let's investigate them. Let's understand what they are doing. Because some of this ransom that is paid has a way of getting back to them because they are the sponsors. But I can guarantee every one of them that they will not go unabated. I can tell you that. We spend nothing on security and we're moving. Every day we are upping the game. We'll soon establish a command and control center where we'll be able to put the state under the radar. And all of those small creeks that he talked about, where people just go to, no, we are taking the fight to them in those creeks. So that there are some, that's why I say to you, when your child leaves the house, find out where he is. Because you know, when that fight starts, there will be casualty. If your child is in a place that is being raided at 10, 12 p.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., what's that child doing there? What's that child doing there? How will your child cross to a creek at 3 a.m.? Because I know there will be casualty, I know there will be backlashes, and so we are trying to look at, but we can't allow this to continue. We cannot. And so we need to be a little bit careful. Ask your child, where are you? Where are you? Because we will not allow them overrun the state. We will not. But in all, you yourself can check the indices around the country. There's no way you can completely, because this is like strange to us now. So when one happens, it's like, but check the statistics of our state with what is happening around the country. You still see that we're doing well. If in the best of countries, there's still crime. But I can tell you, and I promise you, that the security people are doing the best. Even with the last one that happened, we've arrested literally everybody. Some of them confront the security agencies, and the security agencies confront them too. We cannot bring that to your attention, But I can tell you, part of the reason why we were hired was for the security of the state. And we are doing it. That's the guarantee I can give you. Thank you. Government workers, Commissioner for Local Government.
Good evening, Your Excellency. Good evening, everyone. Your Excellency, the approval for the recruitment of the 723 persons basically was for health workers, and it was given in 2014. And it dilly-dallied for a while. When the Valata Local Government Service Commission came on, they veered off the health cadre to other cadres and recruited and made it 723. But originally it was for health workers. Fine, they were recruited. And when they were verified, 403 were reabsorbed, leaving 320. And like she appealed, it's before you, sir. If you give the go-ahead, it can be done. But still, they still need to be verified, Your Excellency, to be reabsorbed. So thank you. And Your Excellency, sorry, the recruitment is specifically the job of the Local Government Service Commission, not the job of the Ministry of Local Government, sir. So, but I'm just standing in for him since it has to do with Ministry of Local Government. Thank you.
Let's go. We'll look at it, and definitely things that don't go straight, I don't know how to straighten them. But we'll go back, we'll look at it. But right now I know I've given approval for, again, 400 health workers, 200 to the ministry, 200 for primary health care, and we're working out how the exams will be taken. We've directed that the BOMLED, if you remember, used to house the e-library, and they have a good place where we want to set up a computer center. But I'm told it can take 250 computers, and we're working how that place will be made ready so that we can be using it for our interviews, our exams, and our students can use it for JAMB. Every entry into the civil service under my watch will have to be in that center. I don't want a slot. Nobody should ask me for slot. Put all your slots, let them go and sit for the exams. And then as they finish, they stay there, they see the results, they are taken, and we're not going to set the exams here. We'll bring consultants that we know have impeccable character, and they will set the exams, fly it in, put it, we write the exams. We require the very best. The civil service cannot be a dumping ground. And when you have people that didn't do well in the corporate world or can't get to pass exams, we say, okay, civil service. No, we are not going to do that. So give us a few time, we'll review this one. Then the 400 we talked about, they will sit for the exams, we'll absorb them and document them properly. I think that's the thing that should be. So when you get into a job, you face the job, you know that you don't have a godfather, you don't have a godmother. It is you, yourself, and God. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Please, we take another 5. Mr. Bastian and Netie, please.
Your Excellency, good evening, sir. My name is Samuel Inobongakpan. I'm a member of the Nigerian Guild of Editors, and of course, a member of NUJ. My passion is for agriculture, and as an agric journalist, I'm concerned about what is happening at our Aqua Prime hatchery. Looking at Akwa Ibom State, sir, we have poultry farmers importing all the way from Ibadan about 100,000 day-old chicks every week. And a day-old chick now is about 1,000 naira. Bringing in 100,000 every week amounts to 100 million naira. If Aqua Prime, which was primarily set up to manufacture DO chick here in Akwa Ibom and feed the entire South and Southeast, and of course some part of the North, was functioning, we won't be spending that kind of amount to people in Ibadan. Spending over 100 million naira every week to buy DO chicks. So my question is simple. What is your government doing to revamp that hatchery, sir?
Thank you.
Quickly, a second one, sir. The second one is on the importation of.
Hello, sir. Agric journalist. One
okay.
is enough. Thank you. I need to give to Harrison. Please, one question, I beg you.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Harrison ACN, Radio Akwa Ibom, AKBC. Your Excellency, one of the core pillars of your rights agenda is educational development. And law school students from Akwa Ibom State are at the verge of not going to law school, Your Excellency. It might interest Your Excellency to know that the Nigerian Law School opens Monday next week. And the federal government has increased the law school fee from 297,000 naira to 476,000 naira today, 60% increment. Your Excellency, 150 students from the University of Uyo have been shortlisted for the Nigerian Law School this year. A good number of them are from Akwa Ibom, and they may not be able to go to law school this year due to the high cost of school fees, Your Excellency. 150 from Akwa Ibom, from University of Uyo. Your Excellency.
Can you submit, please?
Your Excellency, I am trying to draw the attention of Your Excellency to the urgent need to assist and support the law school students from Akwa Ibom State, considering the fact that education is one of the core pillars. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you. Mr. Basti, please, the next question from there.
Good evening, Your Excellency, and all media personnel here, gentlemen of the press. My name is Uhuotu Omilabu.
Hold on, please. Gentlemen, very respected journalists, you understand that His Excellency the Governor is here, and he's a very good man. But by your profession, you are very respected personalities, and you want to conduct yourself as such. When one of your colleagues is speaking, you want to be quiet. It's not a court, but perhaps the Commissioner for Information can also still institute contempt proceedings, perhaps out of here. But we respect you, and we know you respect yourselves. My sister, go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. Good evening once again, Your Excellency and gentlemen of the press here. My name is Uhuotu Omilabu, and I work with Inspiration FM. My question actually borders on food security in the state. When you came into office, you made a good move by initiating the Bulk Purchase Agency, and it was meant to help crush the prices of food and keep it at controlled state. But then, recently, we've continued to see a surge in the prices of food items, and people are not able to afford it the way they used to before. We have tomatoes, a cost of tomatoes going for 9,000, crayfish going for almost 10,000, and all of that. So my question is, what other ideas do you have in this regard to bring down the prices of food items so people can actually afford it? Food is very important. And still on the social register, still on the Bulk Purchase Agency, it's still the same issue. We had the social register where some indigent persons in the state are supposed to get 5 kg bag of beans, gari, and rice. Now we have reports that in some communities, we have persons getting just one. They're expected to choose between gari or choose to have beans or choose to have rice. What do you know about this, and what are you doing to ensure that the agents who are tasked with this responsibility do the proper thing, and if they are caught, they are made to face the law?
Thank you, please. And yet one from there, and Basi, please come to the front as we end this with Dominic Akban, please. Come forward. But Anyete, let's take that one there. Thank you.
Your Excellency, thank you for this opportunity. My name is Udema Basi Udofa. I work for Community Witness. I'm of the Federated Chapel. My interest is still on the agriculture projection of the ARISE agenda, because it is expected to address the food production gaps in Akwa Ibom State. My question is this: has the Ministry of Agriculture come up with a comprehensive list of genuine farmers, emphasis on genuine farmers, because there are concerns that each time interventions come, that it is overtaken by powers outside agriculture? Why is that this important? We, in this regime of accountability, we want to know to hold account when we talk about government interventions in loans, grants, and improved savings. Thank you very much.
Mr. Master, please come and end here with Dominic Abba, please.
Your Excellency, good evening all. My name is Dominic Abba, and I write for a Founding newspaper. Your Excellency, my concern is about the non-utilization of the former Uyo main market land in the center of the town. I'm aware that land belongs to Uyo Local Government Council, but over the years, more than 10 years after the market was relocated, that land has remained the way it is. I was robbed about 7 o'clock in the evening around that area. I appeal to you, to the state government, to utilize that land for the benefit of Akwa Ibom people. Thank you.
Your Excellency, dear colleagues, for live transmission, because a lot of people are also interested in what you're asking, most of these questions on your behalf. But again, tomorrow is...
His Excellency also has some other visitors to attend to. I'll be appealing. His Excellency had agreed that he would take 4 slots of 5 each. And looking at it, because we've not also kept the time, I'd like to appeal. When Morgan comes back, he will just take 3 more and allow the NUJ chairman to speak and His Excellency to reply, so that we can go off air, so that His Excellency can tell you what you want to hear. That is at risk, because there's... Go on, so...
Thank you, gentlemen. So we'll take 3 more. Right, so we'll just take 3 more and we'll draw the contents. Okay. Basi.
Your Excellency, my name is Comfort Sumana, Redemption 101.5 FM Abak. Please permit me to speak in our own language. Mbong Side Neri Nama Council, ke University of Akwa Ibom State. Now they say Karanam convocation. So.
Okay. Mr. Basi, please come back for the microphone.
Your Excellency, my name is Etimbuk Idiom. I write for the Ink newspaper. Your Excellency, I want to thank you for how you have redefined and demystified governance ever since you took over office about a year ago. I am worried, Your Excellency, and your colleagues are worried because we are yet to feel you. By this, I mean your colleagues at the postgraduate school, University of Uyo. By the grace of God, Your Excellency, I am the Postgraduate Student Union President, University of Uyo, which reliably, Your Excellency, is a member, being a PhD candidate in the school.
Thank you.
Please, Your Excellency. Please, Your Excellency. I want you to please support your constituency with the payment of research grants for postgraduate students. Also, construction of a resource center for the postgraduate students, and also an 18-seater bus for mobility for research.
I think the point has been made. Mr. Basi and Anyete, please come back. Come back. Please come, please come. Please come. Come, we have one last speaker here. Please come, go to him, go to him. That's where we end, except otherwise directed by the governor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you, my colleagues and everyone here. I'm so happy to be home. Yeah, Your Excellency, please. My name is Iba Angaisin. I'm a reporter. I came back about 2 weeks ago, and I didn't want to say this, but somebody sent it to me from home. They said, since I am here and you are there, I should just ask you, please. They said you want to take about 313 hectares of land in Ibesigbo. And Ibesigbo people are saying they are not fighting you. They are not against taking the land, but they are against the process that the people took. They want you to use the land, but they want to see you, because the way you are going everywhere, you are so transparent, you are pro-people, and you are handling this thing the way it should be. In a meeting they had with the Commissioner for Lands, they said, the member of the House of Assembly said they are going to build a private university in public land, when after acquiring it, that the people should allow a private university to be built. It is on record. He said so. And I know that, Your Excellency, please, you would not allow somebody to acquire communal land. And then, I mean, after they acquire communal land, somebody will turn around to use for private university. I know you are truthful, the way you handle God. I'm not around, but I see what you are doing. And you are doing, relatively very well in 1 year. But please, continue to be on the path of truth and justice. Please, they have written letters to you. I've heard they've written letters to you. Please, sir, revisit that issue. The commissioner is doing the right thing. Is asking people to go back to consult. But when they came for consultation, they said, you ask us to decide compensation and all that. I'm not holding brief for the people, but since I came here and they knew I'm here, if I did not say it, it would be a problem. But I really congratulate you on your first anniversary. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Those are the questions available at the moment, so we hand over proceedings to you, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We will try to answer some, but the basic thing, I've heard it over the news. Maybe the Commissioner for Lands will shed more light on it so we can understand it. And, but let's start with the Aqua Prime. My brother, you cited that there's no need, if we can resuscitate this, we cannot bring these things from Ibadan. The first thing that occurred to me is that the day-old chip we bring from Ibadan, is it a government facility or a private facility? One of the mistakes we keep doing, in my opinion, is that we keep dragging government into business. Government is to provide a conducive environment for businesses to thrive. I am not a proponent of the theory that government should do business. Government gets involved in, because of the capital outlay, and we can't find someone that has that much of capital. Government can, for several reasons, employment being one of them, can start it, but know when to begin to pull out. And that must be stated clearly in the business plan. The Aqua Prime actually, when I was Executive Director, Agric Investment, was given out to a group, and they were like co-investors. They mismanaged the place, and so the place went down. Right now, if my memory serves me right, government had leased that facility. We may need to revisit it, and the Commissioner for Agric She was busy and they said, oh, you have come. She'll be able to tell you, we may need to revisit that. And no, I didn't ask you to come. Let me just wrap up now. Revisit that and see. Alternatively, we can get the private sector to be interested and government can go into partnership with them. Everything in this country from how many years that you have handed over to government, be it local, state, or federal, never, the day government stops subvention to that project goes. So we need to really be frank with each other, that we can't continue to pump money into these things that don't bear fruit. The law students, I sympathize with all of you, but we must find a way, because when you start with, you are talking about University of Uyo alone. How about law students of Akwa Ibom extraction from other universities? The moment you start, then we'll begin to have issues. But I think the Commissioner for Education and the Secretary to Government, we can meet to see how we can meet some of you. And first of all, let's establish how many. How many? Then we now say, okay, how many law students do we have this year? We now see how to support them. But the moment we start that, no, you don't clap, I've not said anything. No. We need to know how many there are. But the moment you start that, you must know that there will be medical students. You now need, there will be engineering students. So let's look at this thing holistically and see how we can help. And I'm asking the Secretary to Government, the Commissioner for Education, to quickly get together and let's have a middle ground where we can meet everybody halfway. I want to support education, and we are doing that. You heard the Commissioner for Education. We are doing that. But let's don't do things that will elicit trouble the other way. Let's look at everything holistically. On the food security program, my sister, that's one of the best programs that I can beat my chest any day, anytime. And if you call for presentation, you should find a day as AUJ and invite the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor and on ICT to come talk with you. We have a robust program that I can tell you how many vouchers we have issued so far, to whom those vouchers have been issued. I can tell you their units, I can tell you, you see, one of the things that has happened in this state today, a lot of us don't know, is that food program, we've monitored it in such a way that we can tell you how much we've even paid for redemption. I don't want to tell you how many people we are prosecuting right now for trying to defraud the system. Because you have a tablet, and we've loaded the names of all the people on the social register, on your tablet. So as you give them anything and you punch it, the back office here, the central, help to reach the vulnerable. It was not targeted to bring down food prices, because I'm not supplying food to them. You can only have a situation where price of food comes down, where there is a supply that tries to exceed demand. And how do we get to that point if you and I get back to the farm? Enough that as a state, we are still bringing Gary from cassava. And so that's why the government said all of us should go back to the farm. We declare first and third Fridays of every month as farm days, so that we can have at least what to feed ourselves. Government can never, I don't believe in government You need to know what people go through to even get products. What I think we can do in terms of food, and honestly, on a sustainable basis, all of us need to have a farm. Government, again, Commissioner for Agric, she has all dual schemes of taking, we are trying to work with those farmers in their different cooperatives. And I'm really very, very keen on that. We look at the statistics and she can tell you. A people that cannot feed themselves, I mean, we are not people. So I believe that prices will crash, at least for the basic food. Look at what, I'm not really praising anybody, but look at what is happening in Ini right now. They're planting rice, paddies everywhere. And if we continue with that trajectory, next year we'll have our own local rice. And then my brother, you talked about the list of farmers. I can tell you. And then my brother, you talked about the list of farmers. I can tell you we have a list. One of the first jobs I did for the state when I came in as a secretary to Agric Investment was to go around the whole of the state registering farmers. And in the Directorate of Agric Investment, that is still there. They are increasing every day. And that's what the Ministry of Agric is using. So there's no way you can, if you are not on that list, you can't really get it. It's local government by local government. I went around everywhere, so that we can. And we are using it. And these farmers are not portfolio farmers. The Ministry of Agriculture must identify your farm and they know who you are. On the Uyo land that is open, again, the Commissioner for Agric will, Commissioner for Lands will liaise with the local government chairman and let's see where the land is and how we can, either the state will take it over. We need land for so many things, but they will find that. The AXU Governing Council, please let me get back to you on that. I don't have the full briefing right now. But Madam Comfort, I can tell you, I'll get back to you on that as quickly as possible. I don't want to say things that I'm not too sure. And I don't have to know everything. I'm human. And so if I say, sorry, I don't know, don't go and write tomorrow that governor does not know, I will take briefing. The Honorable Commissioner for Education is here. She would have done that. But I think that shouldn't be long anymore. We should really be able to sort that out as quickly as possible. And that my president, I think we can have this discussion after here. Thank you for recognizing that you are my president. At least people now know I went to school. Because you all know that I didn't go to school now. At least so they said. And they said they rusticated me from the university. So thank God I have my president who have validated that I'm doing my PhD program. So let's talk about it after. And I agree. I mean, if you came from somewhere, you people should, there should be, I should show joy. The basic land, the Honorable Commissioner for Lands, let's really find out what's happening here. Did we acquire land? What are we doing with it?
Thank you, Excellency. Respectfully, Excellency, exactly in 2019, there were representations from the leadership of Ibesikbo, Asutan local government area, that government should take over a particular forest around them that was a beehive for criminals. Then your predecessor, Your Excellency, they led architect Imegbo started that process of interfacing with the community. And when I came in, I got to hear about that issue. There were some people within the locality that were not averse with that process, claiming that some other parties were being very selfish about the process. So I invited all parties to my office. Luckily, my brother Ibanga had to fly in to interface. And when I got to talk to them, I discovered that it was just a communal misunderstanding, Your Excellency. So I sent them back and requested, led by the member Ibesikbo Asutan in the House of Assembly, I sent them back that they should go back home and clean their house and get back to me. And I just saw Ibanga here now, and I told him that I asked you to come back, you have not come back. And I believe they are working in their village. When they are ready, Your Excellency, they'll get back to me and I'll brief you appropriately.
So today, we can say that government has not acquired any land, and we are not, government is not drawn into the local thing. If the community, my brother, the community wants to ask government to take over where there's criminality, I agree with it. Because if you don't ask us to take over, we will take over by force. Anywhere there's criminality, I will shut down the place. But I don't think government has even gone to the point of saying we want to. I mean, you've heard the Honorable Commissioner now, we're in public space. I read about some of these things like every other person in the paper, and my father used to say, don't bend down to go and look for the trouble. And so government, I've heard all manner of propaganda on the radio like everybody else, but I've never lost sleep about it. If I had never even bothered to ask the commissioner, because I know that if it's something serious to be brought to my attention. But now that it has, been mentioned, you have heard the story, you were involved, people feel government should take over, fine. You don't want government to take over, keep criminals out of the place. Because if criminals stay there and terrorize the people, we will just clean them out and take over. All land, without any exception, belongs to the government. All, under the land law. So when people say they own land, I don't know which one they own. I can decide to run a road through your house in the public interest, overriding public interest. I just look at your house and run a road through it. You don't know what is happening with the coastal road. What we can attempt to do is to pay compensation. But if it's ordinary land and maybe there's nothing there, government owns the land. So please, let's go back, look at it, make peace with everybody. And there are some communities that we have had disputes like that. They've jointly written to government, we should take over so that there will be peace. Because if you don't do that, generations upon generations, you can imagine how people that would have died. So if you say, government, please, we have a problem here, come and help us take over. We are looking for land for agriculture. We'll come, we'll take over, we'll establish the thing. It will bring peace eternally. One of the things I've said to the Honorable Commissioner for Land is that any land government takes over, we must document it properly now so that no one in the future, because some of the things we've seen, land that government paid compensation and didn't do anything, people now encroach. You want to take them out, they now start asking for compensation. I faced that myself as Commissioner for Lands. So people that are on government land, you're on borrowed times. Because a governor will come that he sees document that this is government land. It doesn't matter what you have built there. He may not be Pastor Moino. He wants the land. He will just take everybody out. You know, people should have, before you buy a land, why don't go to the Ministry of Lands and vet? They will tell you this is government land. But what I've discovered about people is that we don't do that. We just buy. Able government, my free. I will see Frekel. A day will come when government just says plots it and then they come. We're trying to run, we'll soon do our Akwa Ibom Geographical Information System, Akwa GIS, that plots tells us all land everywhere in this state. So we're trying to do a few things that we believe in the second half of the second year, we'll be able to put them forward for all of us to see. I'd like to thank you for your attention this evening. I believe that with those little words of ours, we have shown you that we are ready to serve. We are here to serve. We will work with everyone across board without any exception. It is our state. It is our state. And everyone has a stake in this state. So long, even if you are living here and you are not from here, and you live and do business here, you are a stakeholder. And we owe it to you to be accountable to you. And that's why I've made myself available most times to meet the people, talk to the people. And I think that's what we'll continue to do. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. As we begin to draw closer to the end of this engagement, I want to welcome the chairman of the NUJ, Comrade Amos Etuk, for a very brief vote of thanks. Please, can we celebrate the comrade, please?
It will be brief. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Your Excellency, the architect of peace and unity in Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria's most friendly media governor at the moment. Your Excellency, very distinguished members on the high table, distinguished colleagues, may I respectfully convey our warmest wishes of the leadership and members of the NUJ and the media community to you, and our felicitations on your first year in office, sir. Seated before you here are members of the Nigeria Union of Journalists, Akwa Ibom State Council, Nigeria Institute of Public Relations, Akwa Ibom State Chapter, the Guild of Editors in Akwa Ibom State, heads of all broadcast stations in the state, the General Manager of the Akwa Ibom Newspaper Corporation, radio and television workers, Conference of Online Publishers, media stakeholders, veterans in the industry, including our own revered Elder Paul Bassi. Your Excellency, let me start on the spiritual note. The book of Proverbs 29, verse 2 clearly states that when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. And in just 1 year in office, your scorecard of relationship, support, and synergy with journalists, the media community, and indeed the generality of the people of Akwa Ibom State reflects a service of distinction. This is our second media parley with you, and it has given us a wider and stronger platform to appraise your stewardship and milestones in the Arise agenda. And we do not take these opportunities, Your Excellency, for granted. In Akwa Ibom State, we have been so blessed having governors that value building robust relationship with the press. But Your Excellency, judging by the beautiful ways you have honored the media community so far, with strategic engagements within 1 year, I can boldly conclude that you are poised, taking the existing robust relationship with us to another level. The unprecedented warmth of cooperation and overwhelming support that you've enjoyed from the media community in just 1 year clearly justifies this position. Your Excellency, I can recall that in October 2023, you made history as the first governor in Akwa Ibom State ever to extend an invitation to the NUJ and organized labor to join your EXCO retreat in Lagos. That new beginning of inclusiveness in your administration has successfully changed the narrative of governance and has enhanced synergy in human relationship with you and has strengthened our commitment to project the Arise agenda positively.
You are the first governor in Akwa Ibom State ever to appoint 50 media aides, out of which 14 are members of the union. Permit me, Your Excellency, this is the highest ever the union has ever had. Permit me to mention their names. Comrades Anthony Udo, if he's here, please rise. Ekomobong Peter, Ernest Stackman, Inimfond Silas, Lucy Daniel, Dalele Tugidem, and Ene John. Others include Imoy Tumudo, Sangwele Yara, Oku Udoito, Ekaito Okun, Charles Akman, and Jerry Edogo. Your Excellency, these are our ambassadors serving with you. Also, the appointment of Sir Victor Ukbong as Special Assistant Print Media has further deepened our cordial working relationship. And Your Excellency, we look forward to having more of our members serve in any capacity in your administration. Please be seated. Your administration has also given platforms to other professional colleagues working with you to bring their wealth of experience in projecting the Arise agenda in line with our ethical standards in the reportage of government activities. And we thank you for your consent in the appointment of Comrade Uduai Kong as Press Secretary to the wife of the Governor, Pastor Mrs. Patience Umoino, Emmanuel Ebong as Press Secretary to the Speaker of the House of Assembly, and one of us, Comrade Uyemetum, as a supervisor in Ibionibum local government. A publisher in the media community, Your Excellency, Mr. Ko Umo, who was also appointed as his transition chairman in Etina local government, is doing very well. And we believe his stellar performance so far, Your Excellency, will earn him a further extension in the transition committee in his local government. Your Excellency, very importantly, we are very grateful for the honor of appointing 2 members of this union, Comrades Grace Akman and Edet Suwara, as permanent secretaries in your administration. The media community as of today has 4 members serving in your administration as permanent secretaries, including Comrade Margaret Edem, who is the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Women Affairs, and Akbarawa James Edet, the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Information. Your Excellency, in February this year, at the NEC meeting of NUJ, Akwa Ibom State Council of NUJ was honored among the best 7 performing state councils in Nigeria. And this is through the support that we have received from you. Recently, Your Excellency, the Akwa Ibom State Chapter of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations was granted the hosting rights at Abeokuta, Ogun State, to convene the 2025 annual general meeting of the professional body with over 4,000 delegates from across 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, expected to converge in Uyo next year for this epoch-making event. This event will be a gathering of all public relations practitioners in Akwa Ibom State, and it will be under your watch. In 1 year, you have embraced the media with open arms, a sincere heart, and a firm commitment to having a free press. And I want to reassure you that we will continue to uphold the tenets of our ethical standards in building a united and prosperous Akwa Ibom State. With this heartwarming partnership, Your Excellency, we once again bring to your attention, for urgent intervention and support, following our last meeting with you, our Congress resolution for your administration to take over the completion of our legacy project, the NUG Auditorium. We would be glad to have you commission that building by October this year. Your Excellency, the union is also in need of buses, and we appeal for your consideration in this regard. And we are encouraged by your commitment to reposition the state government-owned media houses, the Akwa Ibom State Broadcasting Corporation, AKBC, and the Akwa Ibom Newspaper Corporation, publishers of the Pioneer newspaper. We welcome the intervention of the Akwa Ibom State government on the resuscitation of the God's printing press, long abandoned, through the AKICOP for profitability, and we appeal for an approval of conversion of over 40 casual staff in the newspaper corporation to gain full employment and payment of way allowance for staff of the Pioneer newspaper and the Ministry of Information. Permit me to formally notify you, Your Excellency, that NUG Akwa Ibom State in September this year will commence academic activities in our proposed school, the 4th Estate School Education, on all necessary Effiong. To our boss and leader, Your Excellency, Akwa Ibom State is blessed to have Nigeria's best information commissioner, Comrade Ini Ememebong. You remain a pace setter in information management, and we appreciate you for being our support system. Just recently, he organized the season 1 of the scorecard of parastatals and ministries in Akwa Ibom State. And thank you, Your Excellency, with the permission and approval you've given. I know that season 2 will begin. Your wise counsel has kept us at the top. I also want to celebrate our Chief Press Secretary, the longest serving Chief Press Secretary in Nigeria, Comrade Keretu Udo, for his massive support to the union, and the Honorable Special Advisor on Information, Mr. Nneka Nomana, who has joined us here and has always supported us. Let me use this opportunity, Your Excellency, Excellency, what I want to say is very critical right now. Okay, sorry. Let me use the opportunity to appreciate members of the State Executive Council. They have been very supportive of our activities, and we are proud of all of them. But permit me, Your Excellency, to specially mention some very few names. The Dean of Commissioners, my father, Sir Monday Bawoko. Let me also recognize my brother, I call him my lead guarantor, the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Honorable Frank Achibong. Let me also recognize my brother, the Commissioner for Lands, Captain Iniebon Ekong, retired. The Commissioner for Education, Honorable Idon Tiebet. My senior brother, the Commissioner for Finance, Dr. Linus Nkan. Commissioner for Labor, Comrade, sorry, he's a labor leader, so Comrade Enefionkom. Commissioner for Power, Camilo Zumo. Commissioner for Water, Enobong Bobo. The most powerful works commissioner in Nigeria, Professor Enoiba. And our agric-oriented boss, Dr. Ofiong Ofo. And the Commissioner for Economic Development, Mr. Imem Almond. We sincerely appreciate them. I cannot live here without also celebrating our key stakeholders. The party, the PDP. The chairman is seated here. The DG of government is here. He has always supported us. He was here. He was with us at Eket. And the Speaker of the House of Assembly and members for the overwhelming support that we have enjoyed and a strong relationship. Your Excellency, we are all grateful. Your Excellency, permit me to acknowledge and sincerely appreciate your senior special assistant on medical matters and your personal physician, Dr. Emmanuel Ekem John, for his laudable initiative of bringing all the professional bodies, including the NUJ, together, united in sharing the ideologies of the Arise agenda towards the attainment of more democratic dividends. We feel his absence and we wish him well. Your Excellency, I thank the hierarchy of the union, the State Working Committee, SEC, members, past chairmen, heads of stations, sister organizations, NIPRA, Cooper, Ratawu, stakeholders for this support in making us the best. Your sterling leadership, sir, reminds us of the importance of selflessness and valuing others. You have made the people come first in your policies. You have redefined governance. You have demystified leadership and service to the people. You have kept compassion on the pedestal of leadership, and you have worked hard to unite the people of Akwa Ibom State. The book of Philippians 2, verse 3, reaffirms, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. In humility, value others above yourself. And this has been the story of a new Akwa Ibom State, led by Pastor Moino, in humility and quality service of the Arise agenda in developing this very great state. Your Excellency, happy anniversary in your first year in office, and God bless you. Your Excellency, I have a final footnote. As I was seated here, the president of Nolge in Akwa Ibom sent me a text and said, I should tell you that very soon, local government workers will celebrate you for the good things you've done for them, and that they will hold a rally for you. A year ago, Your Excellency, I made a promise to you that we'll keep faith in working together in synergy in building a stronger Akwa Ibom State through the Arise agenda. A year after, we have kept that faith. And I stand here to reaffirm that a year tomorrow, we'll be back here next year by this time, reaffirming and enhancing that commitment in building one united, prosperous Arise Jeddah under your leadership in making Akwa Ibom State the best. You are a kind man. You have been good to us, and history will always be kind to you. God bless you.
Thank you so much, the chairman of the NUJ. Of course, he just redefined very brief. Can we put our hands together one more time for him? Thank you. Your Excellency, before we go off the live broadcasts, I want to make an announcement, after which I would invite the speaker. The announcement I want to make is to please invite all of us for the anniversary celebration which holds tomorrow at the Uyo Township Stadium. The time is 11 a.m. But of course, as gentlemen of the press, you know that you arrive events like 3 hours before the time so that you can cover everything that needs to be covered and position your cameras and gadgets properly. So please, Uyo Township Stadium time is 11 a.m., but your own time, I think, should be about 8:30 or 9. Thank you. Your Excellency, something strategic, something newsworthy, the breaking news of a special category happened today. So with the permission of His Excellency the Governor, I want to invite the Speaker of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, the Right Honorable Udeme Otong, as he comes to break the news, because I'm not worthy to break this one. Please, can we put our hands together and welcome him as we wrap this up in the next 10 minutes, so His Excellency can say the other thing. Mr. Speaker, please.
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Akwa Ibom State, the leadership of Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, and other members here present. Your Excellency, let me stand on the existing protocol. Your Excellency, as we were celebrating you for your performance so far in this 1 year in Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Your Excellency, something happens. A child was born today, and that child is coming back to PDP. A child that was with YPP some years ago, that used the platform of YPP to become a member of Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, decided, because of your performance, to come back to PDP. Your Excellency, on that euphoria, we say we cannot keep it within ourselves. We have to come and see the leader of the party, that is the governor of Akwa Ibom State, and the party chairman. Fortunately, we met the media community seated here. Your Excellency, let me bring to you member representing the people of Ikono, Right Honorable Asukwo Nana Udo, that has come back to PDP today because of your good performance. Please, the deputy leader and the leader of the house, please, can you lead the newborn baby? Let us present it to the chairman of the party, and the chairman will equally present it to the governor of Akwa Ibom State. Please, leadership, I cannot do this alone. chairman of the party, this is one of us that has come to the party. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. PDP!
Your Excellency, the governor of Akwa Ibom State and the leader of our party, Chairman NUJ, I know you have mentioned all the appointees. Whatever media group they represent, they now answer PDP. PDP!
Power to the people!
Your Excellency, I had a message from Mr. Speaker this afternoon that our brother, the Right Honorable Asukwo Nana-Udoh, who was one of us until recently, has decided to return home. He was on a journey, good journey though, and worthy journey, came back. He went out as Honorable Asukwo Nana-Udoh and returned as Right Honorable Asukwo Nana. So he now has the double anointing. So, Your Excellency, I'm pleased this evening because it's a good coincidence that after we arranged to bring Right Honorable Asukwo Nana to you, we're told that you'll be having this media party. And I think it's so fortunate to be presented to you when you have over 500 journalists together. I think it's a really a very major event. And after now, he has come to stay because he may not have another media party like this to return any other time. So, Your Excellency, on behalf of the State Working Committee, we are very excited to have Right Honorable Right Honorable Asukwo Nana-Udoh, alias Mbaka, back to the party.
The party chairman officially presents our member, it's always been a member.
Just getting this, the Secretary to Government, the Chairman of our party, Secretary to Government, DG, and all of our leaders that have come here today. For me, I think my brother, I call him my brother from another mother. If you look at it, I was he went out fishing. So he caught the fish and brought the fish back home so we can all share together. And there's nothing wrong sometimes to go out fishing. And some of us understand that you must go out fishing when you want to go out fishing. I want to welcome back my brother with open arms. He's always been one of the things that makes sense to me is that in pursuing the life, career, and ambition, you do know how to destroy relationship. You know, one of the things he never did was to destroy his relationship with people. And that's why it's easier that it's been received with warmth. Because, like I've said, party is a platform to contest election. Once God gives you what you need, at least it's to serve the people. You use it, and I want to thank him and for doing the right thing. Because there's no, and while they were in the house, seriously, both of them, they work with us, and when I send bills, they look at it dispassionately and work with us. So as far as I'm concerned, we never really had opposition. We'll talk, we'll chat. We're like lawyers who are defending different clients. When they finish, they all go to the bar and have a drink. I was in that man, I told my lawyer, I said, I don't trust you. The matter is, I've asked you to come and help me fight. The matter is, I've asked you to come and help me fight. When we finish, I saw you going to drink with him. The man looked at me and said, okay, this thing, we're all talking about the law. And chances are always 50-50. But in our profession, we don't go beyond that courtroom. When we finish, we even go across to shake each other. And I think that's what life should be. That's what life should be. So I want to welcome my brother from another mother and trust, I want to assure you that everything you have always known us to be, we are still going to be like that to you and even more. There will be nothing. For me, I want people to come back in Ikono because I lost Ikono now. So now that you are back, I'll win the next election. So that's the joy. Please welcome back home. Thank you so much, my brother. Can we shut down the cameras?